Hi, my name is Chris Spice and welcome back to the channel. This channel is all about one-man videographers who want to keep their equipment minimal but still make the best quality videos. Today we're going to be reviewing the Sennheiser XS Wireless Digital system. Now, this is a videography channel, so we're going to be focusing on the benefits of this for video, the pros, the cons, and should you buy it. Now, if you haven't seen my previous video on this, which is the first look, that goes into detail about what was in the box and the idea of what this system is, which I'll link right now. So essentially what the system is, at least this one, is an easy way for videographers to get good sound through lapel mics wirelessly. And it comes with the transmitter, which I've chosen the 3.5mm version, so I can connect just your standard lav mics. And this particular package came with the Sennheiser ME2 microphone, which I pretty much have connected all the time. And then the receiver, which comes with a little hot shoe adapter to put on top of the camera. And then the idea is that this plugs straight into the camera. They link together, they come already pre-linked. All you have to do is hold the two buttons to turn them on, wait for the flashing lights to finish and go to solid green. And that's when you know they're connected. So let's start with the positives about this system. The first positive that I really like is that they included the Sennheiser ME2 microphone. This is actually a really nice microphone. I only had one problem with it, which I'll go into a bit later. But overall, really good sound quality from this microphone. And the fact that they've included it in the system is quite a nice touch as well, especially as you're paying the premium price for it. The second positive is the connection. I've never had a wireless system before, so I was a little bit skeptical on how reliable it was going to be, especially as it's kind of a brand new system. So when I was at weddings, I was a little bit skeptical. I had backup options, that kind of thing. But this thing has actually never let me down, and without fail, it connects within seconds. Out of all the shoots I've done, it's only really had one issue where it didn't connect. All I did was turn them both back off, turn them both back on, and then the connection was instant. In terms of interference as well, it changes channel to what the best channel is automatically, so you don't have to do anything to it, which I think is a really nice touch, especially for someone like me who's never owned a wireless system before. I wouldn't know where to start, so I'm glad it's pretty much all automatic. But in terms of interference, I've only had one issue where I was filming in a room and there was horrible noise coming through the headphones when I had the headphones connected to the camera. Again, all I did was turn them both back off and turn them both back on, and it worked perfectly fine. I absolutely love how quick and easy these things are to use. I don't really want to be fiddling around, I do, again, small corporate shoots where time is money. They really want things to be done quickly. If you're a one-man band, you're already setting up tripods, lights, things like that, and your talent's waiting. So having this and just being able to just quickly switch it on and it's happy days is absolutely perfect. And also for a wedding when maybe setup time is limited, you're miking up multiple people, having the ability to just literally whack these on so easily and not have to worry about changing settings and things like that is absolutely great. Battery life on these I think is absolutely great. It's up to 5 hours battery life. I haven't completely gone and tested that because I've never really needed 5 hours, to be honest. But I have mic'd up the groom for speeches, for the ceremony, and then the next day done a YouTube video and still had battery left and it was still on orange. So that's about 2 to 3 hours maybe. So I'm assuming the 5 hour battery life is pretty much on point. I've seen tests other people have done where it's just reached just over 5 hours, but I suppose it depends on the temperature and the sort of settings you're at. But in my opinion, that's more than enough battery. It charges in a couple of hours with USB-C. I've been using my Osmo Pocket charger to charge them just because I take that with me everywhere. And if you do happen to run out of charge in the middle of a shoot, then you can also charge it via USB-C via your power bank. And I carry a power bank everywhere with me, so I can charge anything at any time. So really it's not going to run out of battery anytime soon. I think the versatility of these things is great also. I've been using it with the Sennheiser ME2 microphone that it came with most of the time, but I have used it with a Rode Smart Lav as well, with a little adapter. and I've also used it with my Rode shotgun microphone. So it can be used with shotgun microphones so long as it has an inbuilt battery, because this does not supply phantom power. You can also use it with PA systems, so if you have the white wires, and you can connect the transmitter to the PA system and connect your receiver to the camera, and you'll get some sound from the PA system. So really, these things are really versatile when it comes to being a videographer. So if you had to just take one system with you, then you could easily just take this and it would cover you for pretty much all your sound needs, which I think is a great thing. Something else that I think is really important to this channel is the fact that they are small. You know, they really are tiny. They fit in the palm of my hand. I put them all in this little pouch. I have no idea where I got it from, but I've had it for a while. So everything just goes in there. I do that up and then I'm good to go, and that just goes in my bag, and that's how tiny it is for a whole sound system, which is great. Okay, so there are a couple of negatives now we've gone through the positives that I want to talk about. The first is the range. I'm not convinced that the range is I think it's 75 meters that it quotes. I have had issues from the back of a church whilst the groom has been at the front of a church. And you know, I'm not talking about particularly big churches here, but it was it'll cut out, it will start making some funny noises like it's about to cut out. Obviously there's people in between, there's lots of distractions. It's not going through obstacles very well either. So the range is not amazing. I'm not sure it's entirely what's quoted, although what's quoted is in ideal conditions. Let's bear that in mind. But having said that, the range is perfect for everything that I need it for, because usually at weddings I'm next to the groom when they're doing the church ceremony or the ceremony, and during the speeches I'll be sort of near the top table with the camera, and during corporate shoots I'll literally be behind the camera, so there's no real need for me to use that whole 75 meters of range. So in conclusion to that, I've never really had a problem with the range that I need it for, but I had to mention it just because if you're expecting to get 75 meters all the time, and maybe, you know, have a talent on a stage and you right at the very back of the room, I'm not entirely convinced that's always going to work, so bear that in mind when buying these. The second negative, which is less about the system and more about the Sennheiser ME2 microphone that it came with, the clip that comes with the microphone snapped on the first use, which is not ideal considering how much the microphone costs, and that cost me £20 to replace as well. So it's not cheap. Again, it's nothing to do with the system really, just the microphone that comes with it. So just bear that in mind, that the clip is a little bit fragile. Okay, perhaps the biggest negative of this system is the compatibility with the Sony a7 III, and I've heard some other cameras as well. Now, every YouTube video I've done so far has been with this wireless system connected to the a7 III, and it's in a quiet room, controlled conditions, and I think the sound has been really good. But on shoot, it's kind of been a different story when there's a bit more background noise, when there's things happening, and also when you need to record something a little bit louder as well. So for example, you were here at this wedding I did, I had the input sensitivity turned down to 1, and the sound was still peaking just because it was just too loud for the camera to handle.
First, I thought I'd do it on a game drive when we see the first animal, like a lion or elephant close up. We went out, and amazingly that morning we had a solo drive. We were the only guests in our vehicle.
Now I appreciate this is probably more of an issue with the input on the mirrorless cameras, but it would have been nice to have some sort of option to maybe turn the sensitivity down within the wireless digital system. I've also been getting around this by connecting the receiver to my Zoom H1, and you have finer control over levels here, and it just kind of sounds a lot clearer and a lot better through this, which is great. But one of the reasons I actually bought this system myself was so that it just saves syncing time in post. I really wanted to have the receiver connected to my camera, the sound to record straight into my camera, and that saves any syncing time for corporate interviews that last a while, for ceremonies at weddings, for speeches, and that is valuable time. But now I'm connecting the receiver to this, I'm finding that I'm still syncing the audio, so it kind of gets rid of one of the advantages, I guess, of the wireless system for me. But I could probably still use this for corporate interviews because, like I said, I've been using it for the YouTube videos in controlled conditions, absolutely fine. Okay, so final negative, I believe, is the price. I bought this for about £289, the whole system, including the ME2 microphone, and that is pretty pricey. Now don't get me wrong, what you're getting here is really premium quality stuff. It's easy to use, it does exactly what it says on the tin, and so it is worth the price. But I'll come back later as to why maybe the price point isn't so good now. In conclusion, it really is a great system. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It's a premium product, although it's a little bit pricey. It does everything that you'll need it to do, and it's easy to use and it's small. So as long as you record your audio on something that's capable of recording really great sound and don't necessarily rely always on your camera to record the sound, then this system is absolutely great. So who is it for and should you buy it? I think it's great for one-man videographers who need to capture ceremonies, who need to capture speeches, who need to capture corporate interviews. I think it's versatile, so you can use the lav microphone, you can connect it to a shotgun microphone, you can connect it to a PA system. It's small and it's easy to use, so it's quick to use. You're not annoying your talent when you film in a corporate video, and you can be safe in the knowledge at a wedding that you're going to set up nice and quickly, and it's not going to take you ages to set up a microphone, and it's also really reliable. I don't think you should buy this if you're looking for a lot of range. If you're confident that you're going to be close in the same room maybe as someone in a fairly sort of medium-sized room, then this system is the one for you. But if you're thinking that you may have your talent on a stage and you're going to be right at the back of this room, a hall maybe, then it probably is not going to reach, and you might need something with a little bit more range. So should you buy it? And this is where it gets a little bit complicated, because as of maybe a couple of days ago, Rode have just announced their competitor to this, which is the Rode Wireless Go. It's going to be about £110 cheaper than this already. It's got same battery life, the same range, but it's actually got a lav mic built into the transmitter, so that if you didn't want to attach a microphone to it, and if you just wanted to clip the transmitter onto the talon, you could do that as well. It has a screen on it, and it has a knob that you can adjust the gain as well. So I think this could be a huge competitor to this, and could maybe even kill this when you're paying an extra £100 just for this device. So as much as I'd recommend the Sennheiser XS Wireless Digital system, I would recommend waiting, if you can, for the Rode Wireless Go system to come out. See some of the comparisons, the inevitable comparisons between the XS Wireless Digital system and the Rode Wireless Go, and make your mind up on which one you think is going to be best for you. If you can't wait though, this is a really great system, useful for all purposes, and I definitely recommend it. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, please subscribe down below. Use the little bell notification button to be notified when I'm creating more videos like this. I do a lot of gear reviews, and I'm aiming to do some sort of tutorial videos in the future as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.